Hey there guys, welcome back for another episode of Mortal Realms Monday. So from this week onwards we are a little bit back to normal, in the sense that you are getting a review and a painting video which you can see in the top corner, and that video is for the Hex Raves that we get in issue 57. Now I had already gone ahead and assembled these guys and primed them. They are ready for painting here, but obviously I'll be painting that and you guys can check that out in the corner there. There's going to be two videos, one on how to paint them as Hex Raves, and two, how to paint them as Black Knights. So obviously I've gone ahead and magnetised these. Now I'll go through here rather than do it in the painting video on how to magnetise these. Now all I've done is clipped off the peg that would be here, if we can get it to focus. There we go. So the peg that would be here, I've clipped it off and then drilled down about a millimetre, just over a millimetre, into the body, put a small magnet in there, and then in the hole that is in the underside of the model I didn't have to do any drilling, just a small amount of super glue and one of these magnets. I think they are 1mm by 2mm maybe, but yet they just fit in that hole perfectly. And so all he does is clips on, and you can see or hear there he's magnetised. And then with the Knights, now a couple of these guys, their front area here did join up, so obviously I've had to clip that down to be able to slot it over the neck to make this possible. But all I've done is clipped it down and then sort of sloped the edge to make it look a little more natural. And then same thing, put a small magnet just inside there. Takes a little bit of fiddling with some of these, but there we go. It clips on and he's now a Black Knight. So painting video wise, you've got two. You've got one painting this guy, and then one painting, it's not this guy, it is actually this guy, but yeah, painting him up. So one as this, and then another quick video where I paint this as a Black Knight, that will fit in with the theme of the horse. So go and check those videos out, and we'll get on with the rest of the video for this issue. So obviously we get 5 Hex Raves. If you're watching this ahead of when your country gets them, pick up a couple of issues. Definitely try and get at least 10 of these guys. They are so worth the money, especially if you magnetise them like I've shown there. Not only do you get then 10 Hex Raves, but you'll get 10 Black Knights, which can be used if you're looking to collect the new vampire army. I can't remember the actual army's name, but if you're looking to collect the new vampire army, they use Black Knights. I don't think Night Haunts have Black Knights, they only have the Hex Raves, but I know a couple of the other armies for Undead do use Black Knights, so obviously you'll be able to use them if you collect them guys without actually having to buy more units. So we get the Hex Raves, learn about Stormcast Decimators, and continue the battle for Sigyorn. Now again, I had already used this and filmed this, so bear with me with the state of the issue here. So Hex Raves. Once proud knights of the mortal realms, the Hex Raves are now cursed to serve eternally as Nagash's shock cavalry. Also known as Reaper Knights, they can sever body and soul in a single strike. And we got one of these cool little death notes here, these war scroll type things. We got some named knights or Hex Raves, and this cool thing which unfortunately we don't get, but it's a black coach. I may end up buying one of these just as a nice piece to have. So yeah, there we go. Now obviously you can see in the background here they've painted the Hex Rave as a ghostly look to them. I'm going to be doing something a little more similar to this, but darker, so that it fits in with my Black Knights. So painting guide will not be following what is in here, apart from obviously the bone on the skeleton horses, and the riders will be the same, but the riders themselves and the cloth are both going to be black, and then just have a little bit of the ghostly green on the riders, just to show that they are a bit more ghostly. Then we've got the Stormcast Eternals Decimators. So commanders of the Stormcast Eternals can field their Decimators in a number of different yet equally deadly formations. Sometimes these shock troops are used to clear a beachhead, allowing other warriors to strike down from Azir onto the battlefield. When the enemy must be totally annihilated, Decimators are grouped with Retributors and Protectors in a battalion known as a Devastation Brotherhood. That sounds pretty cool. I don't think we get any Decimators in this collection, which is a shame. Obviously, at time of recording this, or re-recording this, I'm now waiting for issue 60, I think it's 64 to 68 come through, something like that. So nearing the end of the collection now, and I'm pretty sure we are not expecting any Decimators. But yeah, there's still, you know, something that we can buy to add to our army. I mean, we've already saved so much money with this collection, that with that money saved we can buy any of the models that we didn't get with the collection, and pretty much equal in the same cost had we not bought the collection and we're just buying the models. But yeah, so they have Thunder Axes or Star Soul Maces, and they are the Masters of Death. The Stormcast Eternals of the Celestial Warbringers make great use of Decimators in battle. Okay, so Masters of Death is in the Warbringers use them the most. So they're a bit more thematic, which is probably why we didn't get too many in, or we didn't get any in the army, as they probably fit other army styles a little bit better. Plus, I think Games Workshop do want us to spend some actual money on their models and not just going for discounts all the time. Then we've got the Phoenicium. At the foot of the Arborian mountain in Giran stands the Phoenicium. Not sure. It is what it is. Since its founding, this city has become renowned as a place of culture, art and learning. During the Age of Chaos, the Phoenicium was trapped in amber. Since being freed in the Age of Sigmar, it has become a symbol of hope and rebirth for all peoples in the mortal realms, particularly the elves. Many pilgrims visit the city to worship the god beast known as the Phoenix. Misthaven, so another city there. Pirates and criminals. See, now that's Dark Elf. But yeah, the bigger they are. So obviously this is looking at Gargants here. I think that was what they were called, the Gargants, giants. And nice bit of story background for them there. And then we have some warriors here, not quite sure what these are. I think they are Chaos, or something along the lines of Chaos. But yeah, then we got how to paint the hex rays, and as I said, I won't be doing them like this. My hex rays are going to be different. If you want to paint yours like this, then we have all the paints that you'll need, and then you can follow the guide. But either way, do check out my video, have a look at how I paint mine, and make sure to leave a like on that video as well, please and thank you. So we got the obviously how to paint through it, going through the bones, robes and highlighting and all the rest of it. I'm sure you'll read through that and this is again why I don't like them. To me, this is just, I don't know, it's just not ghostly enough for me. But obviously, because mine are going to be part of the Black Knights, the colours are going to be different anyway. I want to have that Black Knight type theme with them. Then we got their War Scroll. So obviously they're mounted, so they get 12-inch move, only 2 wounds, which isn't great, which is why I would say run them as a unit of 10. They get a 4+ save and are 10 bravery. So these guys get hooves and teeth, but the Draco lines don't. Never mind. So hooves and teeth or a spectral scythe, both of which get 2 attacks, both are 4+ to hit. The hooves and teeth are only a 5+ to wound. The scythe is a 3+ to wound, -1 rend on the scythe, and both are 1 damage. So yeah, good for rushing in, maybe securing objectives or getting some early strikes on the other guys. Take out some of their weaker units and just sort of push through with them. Run them as 2 units of 5 or 1 larger unit of 10. Obviously a larger unit of 10, you're going to have a little bit of difficulty getting base-to-base contact and getting within that melee range of 1 inch. So 5s might be better, but obviously don't throw them up against anything too strong, because they've only got 2 wounds and a 4+ save. Just to me isn't great, but you throw them up against some weaker units, you'll be able to do some damage before they get to some of your other slightly tougher units or slightly weaker units. You know, if you can use these guys to weaken them up and then get some chain rasps following them and just finishing off what's left, then obviously they're going to make an easier job for the chain rasps. Then we've got Frightful Touch. So from the looks of it, basically if you get a natural 6, so unmodified roll of 6, unmodified roll of 6 will inflict a mortal wound. So that's an automatic wound. As far as I know, there isn't a save against that, but I may be wrong. They may get, I don't know if invulnerable save is in Age of Sigmar, but if it is, then obviously they would get a save with that, I think. But still, if you've got 2 attacks and you've got 10 of them, that's 20 chances of hitting a 6. So you know, you get 3 6s in there, that's 3 units already wounded. That's 3 automatic wounds, and then whatever else you happen to have rolled. So not too bad with that. Then obviously moving on to the battle plan, we've got the Champion's Choice. So again, showing where we are. We've got the Stormcast moving down through here, whilst the Night Haunts are up the top, and we're attacking smaller. I say we're, the Stormcast are attacking certain areas. So for this, we have 2 options for the battle. So first of all, we're using 3 mats, and deployment is 6 inches along the short edge. Objectives are right down the centre, so 1 in the centre of the middle mat, and then 10 inches up and down from that is another objective. The armies, you get 2 choices. So for Nighthaunt option 1, you've got the Enchained, so that's the Knight of Shrouds, the Spirit Torments, 2 lots of 10 Chain Rasps, 2 Chain Ghasts, and 4 Grim Ghast Reapers. Or option 2, you get the Riders of Reichnor, so you get Reichnor the Grimhailer, the Knight of Shrouds on Ethereal Steed, 2 Dreadblade Harrow, and 5 Hexraves. So a much more mounted option with option 2. Means that you get a lot more speed around the table, around the battlefield. You can fly around, fly through, take out those enemies a little bit easier. Then we've got Stormcast option 1. You've got Sternfeld's Stalwarts. So you've got the Hellstorm Battery, which is the Lord Ordinator, 3 Castigators and a Celestar Ballista. You've got the Knight Questor, a second Celestar Ballista, 3 Gryph-hounds and 3 Retributors. Then for option 2 we have the Stormweavers, which are the Lord Arcanum on Celestial Dracoline, Lord Arcanum on Gryph-charger, 5 Sequitors and 3 Castigators. Right, and there's the sheet for the how to build the Hex Raves, which obviously I missed. Now with the Hex Raves, so we'll just go through this quickly. So with the Hex Raves, you've got 5 horse bodies, the heads glued together, and you can use any of the heads on any of the bodies from the way that I found it. The riders, as far as I could tell, made no difference as to what one they went on. They didn't name a specific horse, so as far as I'm aware, the riders would go on. Now obviously there's no instructions for the Black Knights. They're not difficult to play to figure out how they go together. Once you've used everything on the sprue for the Hex Raves, what is left is pretty much the Black Knights. Now I've made mine. We've got a standard bearer here, so obviously he's got the flag. I've got 2 of these guys with the pole arm. Now you do get 5 pole arms, so you could make them all with the pole arms if you wanted to, and then they get a second arm. Now the only thing that threw me off was the heads. We get a few heads, so I just stuck them on randomly, and the arms, they have these pauldrons that have a bit of a theme on them. This one's got a skull, this one's got studs, this one's got studs, this one's plain, this one's got studs, this one doesn't have anything. So I couldn't quite tell how what was supposed to go together where, so obviously I just pretty much randomly guessed it and just stuck them on. Now you could look at the box image for these on the Games Workshop website, and I think it does show you the individual models for the Black Knights, so you could look and make sure you're matching up the right parts to the right parts. If you've bought 2 lots of these, obviously one lot you're going to make up like I have. You've got the musician guy, the standard bearer, the captain, or the leader of the unit, and then 2 polearm guys. And then if you're your second 5, if you want them as another unit like this, then do this. If you want to have a unit of 10, then obviously make them all with the pole arms. A couple of them are upright, like this guy, and a couple of them are this way. So entirely up to you on how you want to assemble them, but I found that the combinations didn't matter. You can pretty much do what you want. So yeah, paint them up. Got some Black Knights and Hex Raves. Right, and finally, for the end of the episode and the issue here, next issue we've got issue 58, and again we won't get the metal battle map with that. I will explain that in that video. We get a couple of paints, Carroburg Crimson and Retributor armour. And then issue 59 we get 2 evocators on Celestial Dracolines, and it is that issue where I will make up for the fact that you didn't get to see this guy get painted. I will do this one, or one of these, in that colour, so that you guys can see how I painted that up. Again, apologies for that. Now I haven't assembled them yet. They are on their sprues, so issue 59 onwards is going to be 100% normal. Just like I was doing the episodes before, where we show you with the models on the sprues and then a painting video for that. So that's the end of today's video, guys. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I know it's a bit of a longer one today. To those of you newly subscribed to the channel, thank you ever so much for your support and for joining us. Big warm welcome to you. To those of you who have stuck by through my little bit of disappearance there, thank you ever so much, and especially to those of you who were subscribing without me throwing up some new content. But I am back, and I am getting it together slowly. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you hit that notification bell, you'll get notifications of when new videos are uploaded. And until next time guys, take it easy, keep painting those minis.